www.newjerseyimagingnetwork.com. Step 2. Water pump. My water pump is underneath my alternator. My water pump is properly mounted and secured with no missing nuts or bolts. It is not cracked, damaged or leaking, and it is also belt-driven. My belt is not cut, ripped or frayed. And it also has 3/4 inches of play in the center. Step 3. Coolant reservoir. My coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secured with no missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking. It has enough fluid above the add line, or is at proper level. My cap is securely tight. All my hoses have the proper clamp and are not cracked, damaged, broken or leaking. Step 4. Power steering reservoir. My power steering reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not missing any nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking, and has enough fluid above the add line, or at proper level. My hoses have the proper clamp, they're not cracked, damaged or leaking. The hose underneath my power steering reservoir goes to my power steering pump. Step 5. POWER steering pump. My power steering pump is properly mounted and secured with no missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking, and is gear driven. Step 5. Air compressor. My air compressor is properly mounted and secured with no missing nuts or bolts. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking. I see or hear no leaks. My air compressor is also gear driven. Step 6. Phillip dipstick. I use my Phillip dipstick to check my oil level. The way I do this is I pull it out, wipe it down, reinsert it, pull it back out, and make sure there is enough oil above the add line. Step 7. Steering shaft. My steering shaft has 2 inches of play and is properly mounted and secured with U-joints. My U-joints are also properly lubricated. Step 8. POWER steering gearbox. My power steering gearbox is properly mounted and secured with nuts and bolts to my frame. It's not cracked, damaged or leaking, and is in good condition. Step 9. To 3-piece steering link. My pitman arm, my drag link, and my steering knuckle are properly mounted and secured with castle nuts and cotter pins and are also properly lubricated.